Yo, y'all, it's Akinoro. I wanted to share with y'all this whole knowledge that I have of passing on to y'all some lessons of things that I'm thinking about. I've been having this whole little outlook of identifying some goals I have in mind to set, and I wanted to share with y'all what y'all can do to be like me and seeing those things and understanding those things and being appreciative of things that I'm currently appreciative of. So I'm gonna have some things I'm gonna share that are all around me, all around my room, things I own, things that I've been identifying and seeing like I have these things for a reason. I chose to put myself down into this spot of having things that are of little, maybe little value, maybe little, not as high price range and all that different stuff. I'm going to show y'all that this stuff it has different worth of what it means to some people. Some people don't see it as this big worth, but I see it as like, it gets the job done. Some things get the job done for what I have in mind. And it's just, I like sharing it with y'all. I want to share with y'all that kind of stuff. So I might be pulling my phone up. I have some notes for what I want to lay down. I mean, my hand might not be the best right now, but I mean, I'm at home. I'm content with it. I'll be looking at my phone for some of these things, but I'm gonna be showing y'all a few things that are like I had to write down for pointers. So y'all gonna see that as an artist, I'm mainly gonna be speaking. Sometimes I'm speaking here as an artist, since it might not be as understandable to y'all. Some of y'all that don't do stuff that I do, but I just feel like still giving the idea that you can lay down something with what I'm placing for the perspective. You can get down something that I'm placing. So I have lots of things in mind of ideas that I had and where I wanted to take the direction of making stories with my art, with what I own, my characters, and how I make stories with them. And I was thinking, I have things that I love to use. I love to use like on my computer. I save art. I have a space for art. I save art. I have a space for art. I save images that I've saved of other arts and all these different references for anatomy, different stuff that I do to make all of my style fit certain accuracies. I fit that in. But what I do with that is that's all on my computer. I have some things like that are locally saved, and I have those, and those are they're handy things that I've had on hand that I've realized from back then. I have things there those are what I have, but I have other places and other things, items even that I can use to be even more, have more different resources that aren't just on there. That's not saying like you don't have to have everything digitally for some things, like even being an artist. But I'm gonna say, like, I really started appreciating some things I can have that aren't of high value. They're not of high things. And I wanted to share with y'all that some of those things are going to be like things that are all around me. So, I'm, my camera can't even, it can't flip on my phone. So I'm going to have to, using two phones for this, but like one phone searching for notes, and then this one's I'm using to show y'all a few things. But I'm going to say, like, I can't really flip, so I'm going to see if y'all can see everything most clearly. So yeah, I got like my light here. I got other stuff that's like, not that strong to use, but like it makes sense. You can use these things, and they're not of high, high like value, and different things don't have to be so exquisite. Hell, ring lights. You see a lot of ring lights nowadays. They're not that expensive. You see some in dollar stores. You can get these things, and some of them don't have the best quality. You gotta see reviews, but hey, that's how it is with some items. You have to like really see to that. But I'm gonna show y'all. I got some things of other resources that I've been looking at, and I've been thinking it just makes sense for how I work. So I got a whole bookshelf of my own. Maybe I can show y'all. Maybe I can get my light to shine here and just show y'all. There you go. So I have some things for some things. I've really been holding on to some things. So like there's some that I've held on to for like many years. I've held on to really old manga that I've had from a few years ago. I've had like some of these a few years ago of like been just storing them and holding on to them. And I'm thinking now they have a good use. They have like really good use for myself. I can use a lot of these things as resources to strengthen how I have ideas and sources for my story, ideas, details, things I do to write characters. And I'm thinking like these like it doesn't have to be books, you know. But I'm saying some of these are from places that I just go to and I just get books whenever I can find them. You can go to places to get books that aren't high value. You don't have to go to a bookstore, man. You don't have to go to those places. You don't have to like go travel. My bookstores, the bookstores that are officially bookstores around me, those are far drives. I don't have to go to those. Where I go to, and I'm content with going to, I go to garage sales, yard sales. I go to Goodwill mainly to get a lot of my books. I go to those places. I'm just happy with getting books at a price that is like, only a few bucks per book or $1, depending on where you go. I can get those and I can just be happy that I got a new source of anything like that. I can just be like content with. It's nice, it's fun. And for me as an artist, it helps with what I want to do to make stories. I'm just more realizing I can really use books. I can really hold on to books I've already owned, books I'm finding new again. I'm finding a lot of really good books that go like depending on locations, you don't know what those places would have. I just really like it. I really like it, and it's like I'm thinking, some things you don't have to just be an artist to realize like you can get things that aren't of like high value, and you can like hold on to like little things that aren't that much. You can do these things, and you can use this stuff to strengthen yourself. That's what I'm saying. You strengthen your goals, strengthen what you envision for what you want to do. See, ring lights. You want to be a streamer. You can get cheap things. You can get ring lights. Ring lights aren't that expensive. You can get cheap things to be a streamer. You don't have to get expensive equipment. Streamers, sometimes when people talk about streaming equipment, they say, yeah, you got to get, okay, so I have a microphone, right? This is something I got many years ago, but I knew if I'm going to use, I got to get like a high quality microphone if I use some things. High quality stuff, expensive stuff, pricey stuff from Amazon and all that. You don't have to think too hard on what you want to get. It's only things that you really think are like the most like different for what you want to do. Like if you have a certain thing you want to deliver quality in a good way, you really put an investment and you really put time and a decision on those things, and you think about those. Those are what you want to achieve in making sure I have the best quality for what I want to do in this one area. I'm going to do it. And that's what you do. You give yourself that opportunity. You give yourself the decision. Make that purchase. Hopefully it's what you're really content with. You really like it. You really enjoy it. You think this was worth the money. I still think my high quality mic was worth the money. I still like using it for many projects, many things I do with my voice, with my recording. It's what I do. I like it. And it's one of the things that I've used for like holding on to those things, holding on to like a long use of something that was worth my large amount of money at one point, but it wasn't that different. You see, you can use things that aren't that high quality. Listen, like, I realized you can use like phones for face cams and streams. You can use phone charger wires. You can do certain applications and certain things, and you can look up videos to see how you can do those things. And you don't have to you have to get a fancy camera. You don't have to get actually a camera unless you really want to. That's your decision, but you don't have to get those things entirely. You don't have to really rely on that unless you really want quality like me. Get a mic and get a fancy camera, or get other high value things that last and are worth what you want to do. If you want to be a streamer, you want to do some of those things, you can get a camera, you can get those things, but you don't have to hold on to little things for so long and think, I'm not going to do something new until I get to that point. Maybe you think, I don't want to get to that point and get a camera. I don't want to do anything until I get that camera. That's okay, but that's like, you don't have to think too heavy on like what do you want to do with those. If you still have things, resources, you can brainstorm some ideas for things you want to do here and now that can be worthwhile. You can use a phone. You can use a phone as your face cam. You can do those things while you save up to get a real camera. if you want to stream and you want to already, you should feel like confidence to do stuff like that, you can do that. You can do those things, and you can even, like, I have some notes. See, like, you can do a lot of things that you could hold on to some things that were in certain cases you think on them being like, oh, the end goal of using them is very far away. It's different, but you think on it and you're like, oh, the end goal of it is very far away, but it's okay to hold on to those things. Look, so I want to do I want to do music, right? Sometime I want to do music. I want to use an instrument sometime. I have an old acoustic guitar, and I got an electric guitar that I got at a garage sale once for $20. This electric guitar, I don't got anything for it yet. I don't got an amp. I don't got an aux cord. I don't got an amp or a mini amp yet. I want to save money to get a mini amp, get something that's not as strong. Even though I can be humble on those things, I can get those things and I can use this the way I want. See, you can hold on to stuff that's like, if you have a goal, you can hold on to like stuff for a while until you reach that thing. You don't have to like think, oh, it's gonna be a far away thing. It's not that different. No, you can do it. You can hold on to things like an instrument you want to play someday, and you don't have anything for it right now. You don't have anything that supports using it, but you can hold on to it. You can use it. It's okay to hold on to those things. You can do that, and you can, even if you want, you can be like me. You can use little things and be appreciative of the smaller things, like books, to hold on to tools and resources to use for some projects. If that's art, for making a story, if that's anything, if that's like creating ideas for art and story creation and needing a source, a local source at your hands. I personally feel I work the best holding on to physical literature, physical like things. I really like holding on to comics and manga, and I like holding on to books for like being able to have an on-hand like thing that I can look at and then think, okay, cool, let me use this really quick to like strengthen this character. It's really fun. And then I have some of those as my side of having my stuff, of having my identity, of my outlook of how I want to set that goal. But y'all can do that with anything you have that you think on, of a source or something that you can get that isn't of high value. You can go to a thrift store, you can go to these places, and you can get smaller things. If you're like me, living in an area where you don't have to have you don't have to go to like the store specifically made for some things. You don't have to go to an actual bookstore to get some good books. You can find good books at other places that are smaller and have really good discounted values. You can get stuff like that. You can do that. And you can find stuff and oddities that you didn't think you would really have right away, but you can use them. That's the thing. That's the thing that I've been looking at, and I've been realizing that is so cool. I've been realizing that, and I've been thinking that's so cool. Like, I really want to share that with y'all, because that's something that I really like. And let me show y'all some of these things. You can even say, right, you can say, in another area of being being creative, or being what's it called, you be creative, or you're also like, you have some plans of like how you want to be crafty and be like an organizer of things. You can organize stuff. Like, if you own stuff personally, you can organize stuff. See, I've held on to this for a while, but you can organize stuff with all of your, like, if you have to get something extra, you have to get a pocket, what's it called? These things for doors, these whole like big plastic pocket things for doors. You can get those. You can do those things, and you can hold on to stuff. Even if you can't place stuff everywhere, you can find places to place stuff. See, I have stuff that I can't place everywhere, and I know I can't place them everywhere. So I'm gonna show y'all a few things. Like, see, I have some things that I really like putting out and letting them sit somewhere comfortably, but they're different. See, I have a place for my shoes, and my shoes, I don't have them as like a dedicated spot. I have them just sitting, but they sit on something that actually lets them not sit on anything. They're still propped up. So my shoes are on these little these actual wood pieces, and these are basically, I didn't have a shoe rack, and so I'm thinking I can use this. This can be like something that I can use. My mom had these, and I was thinking like, She had no other use for them. I was thinking I can use them for my shoes, and I told her I can use them for my shoes. I can do that, and I held on to them. And if I balance them well enough and prop them up well enough, they don't slide off, and they work just fine. They work for my shoes. I don't have a spot right now to place all my VR stuff. I just placed it on the floor because I know I'm using my VR stuff quite often. So I do that. I have a place in my little laptop. I place it on my stool, and I place it, make sure it's always charging right here on the wall. It's stuff like that that's not really that different, but hey, it's like you decide on some stuff and you think it doesn't have to be placed away. It has to be stored somewhere. It's okay if some stuff is placed on other places. It's okay. It's not that different. You have to think. You don't have to be like placing everything to be so organized in every which way. You can be organized in a lot of ways. I can be organized and have most of my room clean, but some of my stuff is still lying about in certain places, and it's okay. It's not a bad thing. On this segment here because I have a little bit of extra stuff to show off. Some people have skinny mirrors of their own that have to pop up. Even if you have conventional things like mirrors, you might not have the best things to keep around. I pretty much didn't want to use a stool to prop up my mirror, so I got creative here and used my old shoe boxes that were around. Some people actually use the shoe box for different things. You can use the shoebox to store some stuff, particularly little things like a junk drawer stuff. But me, I got to have this be able to stay enough weight to hold up my mirror. That's one of the other things you can do with some of that stuff, man. Just be humble, being creative with smaller things sometimes like that. Yeah. I have books of different kinds. I have graphic novels, manga, chapter books, and I'm humble for all of them. But I was thinking, I can make use of small things in this time. I can really hold on to little ideas I have and then make them work. So I don't got bookmarks. I hold on to actually folding paper, and I made actual paper bookmarks. You can make things that are, make use of things that are of little different kinds of change and value and stuff like that. You can really think if stuff doesn't have to be so different for you to be so creative with it. I got some sort of acrylic shelf pieces a while back from sort of a dollar store, some discount store that was in my area, and made use of changing it up to be a placeholder for my extra socks, my different anime, Dragon Ball and anime Chase socks. I didn't have any more shelf space to put them anywhere in my drawers, so decided to put them here, and they're actually pretty convenient for when I'm gonna get my little theme socks, and yeah, stuff like that is you can you can find pretty good oddities, and you can make them to good use depending on certain items and where you can place some stuff. It may look different to some people, furniture placements and all that, but be yourself, man. You might not be thinking the way I think about some of these things of being so creative and being ready to make some things that are like ready to go. You have ideas and you have ways to do them. You don't have to like be as confident. If you're not as confident with me right now, you're not thinking, I don't have your mindset. I can't do what you're doing right now. I can't think ahead and think so brightly like you are right now. Like you can't do those things. You don't have the confidence. You don't have the same thoughts of thinking. How did he get to this spot? How is he so thinking about it so easily? It's different for how different people think, but you can do some things that you can slowly but surely realize stuff. You can put your brain to work and you can think on these things. You can identify stuff. You can even have a place. See, I'm saying like these things of little value. They don't have to just apply to like material items and things that you've owned and things you can get from any other place. You can get that from other places that you have like in your devices and your stuff. So for me, I have Android, and particularly my phone is a Motorola. It doesn't have a dedicated notes app. My phone does not have a dedicated notes app. So what I did, I got Google Keep Notes, and it's still a good notes app. I recommend it. Google Keep Notes has a good, you might not enjoy cloud service. I enjoyed that use of cloud service if it's on an account like Google accounts. It's fun. You can use a big character limit. It saves all your stuff on the cloud. You can switch from phone to phone and use your notes fluidly when there. Because it saves on cloud, it saves online, and your notes don't go away, they stay there unless you take them out. I have a lot of notes. I can hold on to that. I'm happy with that notes app. It looks bad. It looks really good. It does not look bad. And some people might think, oh, it looks ugly or whatever. I think it looks fine. Some people don't really know how good that and convenient that kind of notes app is. If you don't have official stuff, sometimes you don't have official things, or you don't have to have the most official thing. You can even have a different Android phone. You don't have to have the best Android phone. You can have things that aren't the best things and still be humble and still be happy and still be content with what you have. You can see those things, and you can really be like accepting of the things that you have in the moment and things that you have what they are. I particularly my chair is actually it's a little scuffed on the side. See, I got some wear and tear from I'm not sure if it was mostly me doing some of these things, or some family members. I'm not sure. Sometimes there's been tears, and the armrests aren't they're torn, but I don't think we're replacing it anytime soon. If it's still mostly in a comfortable condition, I don't really like these. Don't really bother me really. These armrests and scuffed armrests don't really bother me. I feel like I'm still able to hold on to this stuff that has value, and not just its price. Stuff that has value from what you got from it. The stuff that has value from what you're holding on to it for in its condition. You can. It's all for you to decide what you want to do with that and how you want to hold on to that. If you find new stuff, like me, like books, used books, I'm fine with that stuff. You can use that stuff and you can hold on to it, and you can use it for your own value after someone was able to think of giving it away. You can use that stuff no matter what its quality is, its condition. If it's still something you accept and you think you can use it, you can use it. You can use it for all that stuff. I'm humble with not having the most clean things, some things that are used. A lot of things are passed down. You don't really think about how much stuff is passed down, how much stuff has been used, how much stuff you buy for smaller prices. People just want to give them away. They drop the price on something, and you don't think about that a lot of times. And that's something that I'm thinking about more. It's like, I've gotten these things for good prices and good value. I'm holding on to it. I'm happy for it. I like it, and you can really think and identify these things, and you can put them down in those notes apps. You can put them down in those notes apps. They don't have to be official. You can put them down in those other places. You can hold on to some ideas. You can hold on to some notes. You can hold on to some goals in mind, and you can keep those stored. And you can really think that you're going to put them in a place where you can hold on to them. You can really think on the process. May be slow. It may not be like me, like thinking on it right away and thinking, I have it made. I have it decided. Some things it's not going to be as clear as you envision, but you're going to have it. You're going to be able to have the look, the outlook, and the design of where you want to go with it. You have a road, you have a path, you have some things that you think on, and sometimes you just think, I don't know if it's going to be smooth. I can't predict it, and that's okay. But you have to think. You have these things in mind, and when you have them in mind, you can go ahead and you can put some sort of little journey ahead into mind, a little path, a road. You can put that in mind. You can hold on to something. Everything starts with ideas and stuff. You can really think that even ideas and little things to keep in mind, little things to keep in memory in your notes are fresh starts. You can put that as a fresh start, and you can say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have, streaming equipment soon. I'm going to think on what I can do to set that up. I want to be a streamer. I want to be, make my own story as an artist. I want to do these things that are my aspirations, my endeavors. You can put those things in as a starting point. You can write it down, and you can really strengthen it as you go ahead. It doesn't have to be like a big thing to start off right away. You can do those things. You can make them like stronger over time. They don't have to be things that you just hold on to and thought. You can note them down. It's okay to note those things down. It's okay to place those things and really think that it's something that you can keep and hold on to for later, and for a better day, and for another day to make a new change and a new progress in mind for what you have. I like that I have this that I want to share with y'all, because it's something that I've really been thinking about, and I'm thinking I want to be real with the people that I want to share all my content to, and I want to share this with y'all because this is something that you don't. Sometimes you could get stuff from streamers and people you watch, and they tell you real things that whenever they're doing their own stuff. But I'm making a dedicated video for it. I'm showing y'all that I'm happy with these things that I've been holding on to for some time that are new and old, and some things that I've been able to repurpose, some things I've been able to hold on to and realize I have this in mind for a tool, for a resource, for something that is helping me with this stuff, and it's still something that I am able to hold on to and have fun with. And sometimes people say this kind of stuff, this kind of like goal setting, it feels like a high. And you can think of that. You can think whatever you want of what you have in mind, a goal. If you have excitement for that, you can call it a high. But I don't personally like calling it a high. I like calling it like something like an identity. Like I said, identity, and you have something in mind that's just so is giving you so much like thoughts of what you want to do with it, and ahead of time you're so excited to get to that point, to get that goal in, that you think I'm gonna have that set, and I'm so excited for how it will go. You can speak on timing it however you want, but I'm going to say that I think thinking on it as reasonable to your emotions, reasonable to who you are and what you want to do, is all your personal enjoyment. You don't have to think, I can't show this to other people are going to make fun of me for that. That's okay. You can be yourself, and you can express to people around you. You can express to people, this is what I want to do. If you don't want to, that's okay. But that's what I have of like sharing with y'all, that anything you have in mind, identify some things, think on them, like use things. Even if your mind isn't as fast as mine in thinking some things, put them into like a starting position. Think on them, and you can do those things. You can be a streamer. You can make stories as a storyteller. You don't have to be an artist. You can do these things. You can make these things that you have. And I wanted to share with y'all that all that stuff. I was really thinking, I don't know where to end, but I wanted to show y'all that those things are like what I have currently, and I'm really figuring it out. And I'm really like looking at it from a certain perspective, and I wanted to show y'all how y'all can get into that kind of perspective, similar to what I'm doing. So my light is kind of getting in the way, I guess. I make sure it's a little bit not as natural, but make sure the natural lighting is back in here. But I wanted to share with y'all that, and I hope y'all have a really like solid, maybe y'all able to come up with a solid idea just from me talking about it, but y'all have that in mind, or y'all have something you think maybe I should get to it sometime. Because of my words, maybe get into it now and put something down, put a note down, do something small. It doesn't have to be large. You can do something small. You can put a note down even, just start it off, and you can do that stuff to make your goal, make your idea, and have a starting position, like I said. So I'm really glad I shared this with y'all, because I really like showing y'all what I have of all of my thoughts of, like, sometimes I don't really share too much of my thoughts to y'all of how I'm playing stuff out and what my creation process is for some of these things. And this is an idea of how you can do it like me. I have some things in mind, and since I have stuff in mind, I have stuff in planning. Y'all can have your own things in planning. Y'all can have your own stuff. That's what I'm currently in, and I wanted to share with y'all that that's what y'all can do too. And yeah, man, I'm really happy to share this with y'all. I'm hoping this helps y'all, because some creators, some people, no matter how big or small they are, they don't think about sharing this too much to some people. Sometimes they dedicate videos, one-on-one talks that last for a while. And I wanted to do that with y'all. I wanted to share with y'all this whole thing. Yeah, so, put that stuff into a good place, and, physical or in theory, a thought. And yeah, I I want to see what you guys think about, like in comments, what y'all think about my advice and the knowledge, and yeah, man. Um, yeah, hope y'all can do what I'm currently out looking for all this, and yeah, I hope y'all have I hope y'all you know, really like get to tell me what y'all think in the comments, and maybe progress and stuff. That's what y'all do and what your ideas are and where you're taking it from, maybe a week from now seeing this video and stuff. Yeah, so that's what I gotta share, y'all. Hope that helped y'all, and yeah. All right, I'll see y'all.